Hey everyone, it's Dan Charles with Lite Forex. It is Tuesday, June 16th. I'm going to break down the Forex pairs starting with the Australian USD. Please hit the subscribe button and go to the link in the description below this video. Okay, let's take a look at the Australian USD. So it really looked like we were going to bounce higher. When I looked at this yesterday, we were overextended and very bullish candle. We came up today, came down. Now, yesterday when I was looking for a trade on this, one of the things I was cognizant of was I wanted to see this above this 70 resistance. And you can see, did not do that, pulled back. And, you know, we really look overextended on the weekly chart, which I've been saying for a while now. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if this was the lower high just here and we pull back from here. But realistically, when you look at this chart right now, it's very a neutral setup, because I look at this and it could really go either way. I see signs that this could break down and break through the 68 support tomorrow and we start a downtrend, but we are putting in higher lows, and I could see this break into the other to the upside. We got the parabolic is below the candle as of today. So, you know, I look at this and I really have to be more neutral. I'm waiting for resistance or support to break. I really think that's the only way to play it. Okay, the Australian futures, you can see here, it's the same thing really. We're just waiting to see which way we break. 7,000 is going to be that important price. And let's see if that price can get taken out tomorrow. You can just see it came up, hit that resistance. So this is really a wait and see for me. I see it going either way, and when you can see it going either way, it's best to wait for the setup to happen. Okay, Euro USD. Okay, so Euro USD. Now we did put in some support from yesterday's low. Yesterday's low 12.26, today 12.28. But we came up and I wanted to see 13.50 break, and you can see here it did pop above it, 13.53, but then hit resistance and dropped. So you know, you look at the weekly chart and you have to look at the lower high in place, how we're overextended from here. But we are putting in higher lows. So I gotta say that Euro USD looks like a wait and see as well for me. You know, it's impossible to look at this and be full on bullish or full on bearish. So it's a wait and see. We're waiting for 1.12 to be taken out or 13.5 to be taken out. So that's the safest way to play this. Euro futures. Okay, so Euro futures, it's a similar scenario, but as you can see right now, we got a long lower wick on the Euro futures, which does lean more towards a break to the upside. So you can see that support hit at 12.5. So the lower wick just became smaller, but you can see that support. We did come down. We did hit resistance on this one at 1.14. So it's a little bit of a it's the same scenario. You know, you really see the lower high on the weekly. I'm going to be neutral on this one as well. We're going to skip to the New Zealand here for a sec. New Zealand was looking more bullish yesterday. I thought this was going to come up today, come up to the moving average, and you can see price did come up, but we did hit resistance at 65 and we pulled back. We are putting in a higher low and we are still holding support at 64. So we're just stuck. We're stuck between resistance at top at 65 and support at 64. We're waiting for it to break and close above one way or the other, and it is overextended on the weekly, just like I talked about with the Australian and the Euro. So it's a real wait and see. I hate to be neutral on so many pairs, but you really have to be. So let's be neutral. New Zealand futures. Okay, New Zealand futures. Similar type scenario. We are putting in higher lows, but we did hit resistance at the 65 price. Yeah, it really has to be a similar type scenario where we're really waiting and seeing. We're holding 64, and that's the positive, but we got resistance. Let's see if this can break 65 or break 64. That's really the only way to play. Okay, on to the pound USD. Pound USD yesterday looked bullish for today because very bullish candle, and we held 2,500 support. We bounced, we came up, and I wanted to see this break 27. You can see the high today was 26.88 and then pulled back. It's very bearish. So is this going to be the lower high scenario, just like we looked at with some of the other pairs? It's a wait and see again. So I'm going to be neutral. So far, I'm neutral on the first four pairs because you can easily say, okay, we're holding support at 25, but we hit resistance. So is this going to be the lower high, and are we going to come down? Or are we going to try again and break out? Because this was obviously a strong bullish move. All these Forex pairs were very bullish before this pullback. So we're waiting for either one of those scenarios to play out. Pound futures, it's got to be the same way. You can see here the high today was 26.94. So we got that resistance at 27. And we're holding support at 25. But you can just see it came up, came down, same scenario. Really looks the same as the pound USD. Okay, on to the USD CAD. So the USD CAD, after having this big break on the 11th, big breakout, we pulled back for 3 days, and I was saying I want to see if it can hold 35, because if it breaks below 35, we're probably going to come down. And today the low is 35.05, pulling up. So we're holding that very important support level. So now what needs to happen is it needs to break. Let's see if this can break. This one looks more to me like we're going to get some upside. And plus, you see the support on the monthly chart here. That has to be noted. You see that support right there. The low, 33.15. Yeah, to me, this looks like this could have a break to the upside. Let's take a look at the Canadian futures. Well, the Canadian futures yesterday, I was pretty confident this was going to go up today just because we had this gap from the moving average. We were going to come back to the moving average. And after last week when we hit resistance at 75, now we're hitting some resistance at a lower price of 74. Now we are putting in higher lows. So this could easily still break up above 74, which would obviously send the USD CAD going the other way. So this one, it's a little bit mixed too. Now that I look at this a little bit more in depth, it looks like this could still break out, and which would send the USD CAD. But as long as the USD CAD's holding that 35 support, that's what we need to. That's how I would be playing that out. I'd wait for a breakout on the USD CAD after holding that support, and obviously a breakdown on the Canadian dollar. Okay, lastly, USD yen. USD yen. USD yen, after having its little rebound, USD yen came up today, came down. Not a lot of movement the last couple days on the USD yen. Very bearish candle. We touched the moving average, we pulled back. 107 is going to be the support, that very important support to hold. We got very key support down here at 106, but we're a ways away from that level. This really needs to break back above 108. I'd want to see this bust through 108 to be confident that this is going to have a rebound, and it needs to hold 107. Let's see if it can continue to hold 107. Of course, if 107 breaks, then we got to look at the most recent lows around 106.5. 106.57 was the low on the 11th. Have to see if that can hold. But as of right now, there's not much to report. Just looking at these small little ranges. Let's wait for it to either break above 108 or break below 107. Let's take a look and see how the yen futures is looking. Well, yen futures is looking just the opposite, of course. This looks more to me like we could get a break to the upside. We had this big breakout. We hit some resistance at 0094. You can see a bit of that wall right there. We needed to pull back to the moving average. We always need to do that. And now it looks like it's potentially setting up for a break to the upside, which would obviously send the USD yen to the downside, breaking that 107 support. So let's see if that 107 support can hold and this can break out. Okay, that's the breakdown for Tuesday, June 16th. Please subscribe to the channel and go to the link below this video. Thank you for watching.